You know it's beanie season. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It's the Dungeon of Doom. It's yours truly. We got week 13 in the books. Got a record of 8-5 here. First pick of the week went right. Last pick of the week went wrong. Upset alert of the week pick: Browns, Rams over Browns. Went in the bag for me. Got that one right. That's nice. That's nice to keep that going. You know what I'm saying? Nice to keep it going. Week 14, huge matchups here. Can't wait to get into it. You already know what time it is. Let's not even waste it. Let's get that cue. Machine. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, let's get started. Go ahead and get started here. Overall record right now currently sits at 111-82. The 8-5 putting me over 110 and also over 80 picks wrong. So let's go ahead and dive into it. The Thursday night matchup, first game of the week, week 14, Patriots at the Steelers. Patriots at the Steelers. Steelers are at home here. Kenny Pickett got injured in the last game, expected to miss 2 to 4 weeks, meaning Mitchell Trubisky is going to be the starter. The Patriots didn't score a single point last week against the Chargers at home. Second game at home that they've been held to 0 points. On the road here in Pittsburgh, the Steelers are not much of a threat in the AFC, but however, I do think they prevail and win this game, keeping them in the race and decent positioning in the AFC North. I got the Steelers beating the Patriots here 13-6. All right, and now we have the Sunday slave game, starting with the Texans at the Jets. So the Jets have a bad quarterback situation. Texans, led by rookie quarterback C.J. Stroud, is most likely facing his toughest challenge yet, as the Jets' pass defense currently ranked third. They're allowing the third fewest yards in the entire league. They offensively, they're a whole different story, but I think this is going to be the challenge. I can see the Texans getting off to a good start and then cooling down quickly. The Jets defense here are just very savvy and then coached very well, to be honest. Great front seven. Texans here missing Tank Dell. He unfortunately is gone for the season. A rookie receiver alongside his rookie quarterback. But I think they hold on into the end here. The Jets are going to score at least one offensive touchdown, I believe. I think it comes when they're making the surge back in the game, I believe. But they're going to come short in the end. And I think the Texans prevail, pushing them close to potentially the AFC South leaders, depending on other scores. I got the Texans beating the Jets on the road 20-18. Now on to the Rams at the Ravens. Coming off of a big win against the Browns. Now they're facing another AFC North opponent. Like their stretch against the AFC North comes late. In Baltimore, not an easy place to play. Ravens, although, are coming off of a bye week. The Rams are looking to throw the ball here. Attack this Ravens secondary. It's going to be interesting to see. Rams was successful attacking the Browns secondary, which is actually the best secondary, allowing the fewest yards in the league. But it's going to be different to do this on the road. It's obviously nice to have your home crowd, and they have some people that are banged up. So Kyron Williams will be the key for them. They need to get him going. But Lamar Jackson coming off a bye here. Gus Edwards healthy. Odell Beckham looking pretty good. And then using all his weapons. Interesting to see how Mark Andrews faring. I think he's still out. But I think the Ravens here take care of business at home. No doubt who the better team is, although the Rams will make it a fight. Pretty good one. I think the Ravens prevail at home 34-25. All right, and then moving on now. This is going to be my upset alert of the week. It is the Panthers at the Saints. These two teams met in week 2. The Panthers hosted them. I think they lost by single possession, and this was only Bryce Young's second game. I look at this. The Saints have been winning ugly. They are at home, but this Panthers pass defense is actually not as bad as people think. They're actually the second ranked, allowing the second fewest pass yards in the league. And they're playing, if Derek Carr doesn't start, he's in concussion protocol currently. Jameis Winston is going to be the starter for the Saints. And Jameis Winston likes to throw the ball, try to fit tight windows and throw downfield. Great opportunity for the secondary players of the Panthers to make plays. Xavier Woods among people. J.C. Horn, I think, is back. Now they did get burned by Mike Evans last week, but there's no one on this. There's no one on this Saints offense. There's some playmakers, but unless there's a truly reliable person giving them the ball, someone who's not going to take risks, which Jameis Winston takes risks. Derek Carr has just not been accurate this year. I think this is going to be a recipe for the upset of the week. I think they can get pressure on whichever the quarterback is, and I think they can protect Bryce Young. I think they had a better game plan last week from when before they fired their previous coach. So I can see this being the upset of the week here. It's not going to hurt them. They have pride to fight for. The Bears get their first round pick anyway. So I got the Panthers winning on the road against the Saints 23-20. All right, now moving on here, we got the Colts at the Bengals. Colts coming off of that huge win on the road against the Titans. Bengals upset the Jaguars on Monday Night Football. I think this is going to be a great matchup here between two teams where the Bengals have their backup quarterback who had over 350 yards passing, completed over 80% of his passes. Colts have a pass rush though, and don't expect this to be as free floating this time around. The Bengals are currently the worst team in the league when it comes to rushing offense. They only average they have under 1,000 yards rushing on the whole season. They got Joe Mixon going in the last game. But this Colts defense also very savvy against the run. And even without Jonathan Taylor, they had two receivers go for 100 yards each, Alec Pierce and Michael Pittman Jr. So this is going to be an area where the Bengals need to tighten up. And I think the Colts come out of here with another win because they're looking at this AFC South like, why not us? The Jaguars and Texans are the other two that have a similar record, so they need to stay ahead. If they win here, that make the Colts 8-5. I think they do this on the road against a pretty good opponent. So I get the Colts winning here, 27-26. All right, now moving on. We got the Buccaneers at the Falcons. The other NFC South matchups here. We have the Buccaneers coming off of a win against the Panthers, and then the Falcons coming off of a win against the Jets. Falcons at home, I think they have the upper hand here. They're running the ball at a very high level. They're actually going to have a chance to maybe throw the ball as the Buccaneers rank. The Buccaneers currently rank the 29th team against the pass, meaning they give up a lot of yards. And they have, obviously, the Falcons have young weapons. Maybe they can open it up here because the Buccaneers are definitely going to be airing it out towards their defense with Mike Evans, although you have Jesse Bates in the middle there has been playing at all-pro level. This is going to be a shootout, I believe. Both these teams, I think the Bucs will come out swinging first, and the Falcons, since they're the home team, will settle in. I think Desmond Ridder makes some plays, limit the mistakes. And I think the Falcons win here 35-28 over the Buccaneers, putting them in sole possession of first in the NFC South. Jaguars at Browns. Jaguars lost to the Bengals, another AFC North opponent, at home. Now they're going on the road against the Cleveland Browns, who are currently first in pass defense. Jaguars, Trevor Lawrence suffered an injury. He's limited in practice today, and he's day-to-day, so he might not even start. And if he does, you're playing against a pretty good, the best of the best when it comes to pass defense. The Browns, however, their rushing defense is ranked 14th, in the middle of the pack there. So Travis Etienne, this could be an opportunity for them to really run the ball, scheme up something, call the screen game. You get pressure from Myles Garrett and others on that Browns team. This could be a very strategic, intricate game here, chess match played between these two teams, as both teams are fighting for playoff positioning. The Browns, as you know, the AFC North, if you don't win, it's going to leave you. And right now, almost every team in that division is competing with a winning record. Pretty nonsensical, crazy to think about, but that's the state of the division currently. So for that reason, I think the Browns here win at home, coming out, notching out a tough one against the Jaguars team that is pretty solid, very young, and they fly around the ball. So it's going to be fun to see. I got them winning here 24-19 over the Jaguars at home. All right. As we didn't mention, Joe Flacco also get his second career start most likely. But we're going to move on. Lions at the Bears. Bears at home now hosting Lions. They almost should have beat the Lions in Detroit, you could argue. They let that game get away from them, and the Detroit scored 2 late fourth quarter touchdowns and won the game. I think the Bears here at home actually tied with first tied with San Francisco is allowing the fewest rushing yards, to where I think Detroit's biggest strength is rushing the football, especially how they got their other players involved, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Jameson Williams, and their two-headed monster at running back, David Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs. A lot to stop for the Bears, but they've seen them before. They saw them at their house, and they really were ready to hand them an L. So I think they prevail at home here. Justin Fields needs to play mistake-free. This Lions pass rush can get after you, but they're also torchable. They're also not they're the 20th ranked pass defense, so they give up a fair amount of yards. I think he can utilize DJ Moore, Darnell Mooney, and Cole Kmet here. Utilize his weapons when they're setting up play action. He just has to be decisive and get rid of the ball. A lot of people, I should say, there's a crowd of people that don't think that Justin Fields is the answer in Chicago. So most of these people aren't even Chicago fans. But I would say a lot of people are rooting for Fields, me included. I like to see young players do well, especially if they had it rough in their early years in the league. So I think the Bears here prevail at home over the Lions. I got them winning here. 22-13 by 9 points. So all kudos to the Bears. We'll see what happens moving forward with their program in general. Lions still need to prove that they can play, that they can win close games at the end of the game. All right, Seahawks at 49ers. Seahawks, crazy battle, crazy fight with the Cowboys on Thursday night. Seahawks played them just 2 weeks ago in Seattle, where they actually pretty much kept their playmakers mostly in check. Obviously, they scored touchdowns, but Purdy threw for under 200 yards. Whereas he had thrown, the difference would have been some missed tackles and yards after catch for their receivers. But it's going to be very tough to stop this 49ers team, especially at home. The Seahawks coming off of a big loss. They had extra time to heal. But it's going to be very tough against the 49ers team that's just clicking on all cylinders. I expect the Seahawks to be competitive in the first half, and then it kind of just unfortunate. They're not going to be able to move the ball much in the opponent's territory, which is why I think it leads to a blowout score. I think the Niners here win at home 34-10 over the Seattle Seahawks. All right, Vikings at the Raiders. So the Raiders, both these teams coming off of a bye week. Raiders are at 500 in the AFC West, looking to break through here. They're 31st in rushing offense, meaning they don't rush for a lot of yards. They really air it out more. This is an interesting fact because their opponent, the Vikings, are actually right there by them, 28th in rushing offense. So both these teams are probably going to look to pass the ball on each other. I think this favors the home team. I think the crowd gets behind the Raiders pass rush, which they've been very good all year, putting pressure on opposing quarterbacks, Max Crosby in particular. And they're playing hard for their interim head coach, which is Antonio Pierce. And the Vikings here leave a lot to be desired. Still not sure if Justin Jefferson is ready to return. Even so, they still are missing their quarterback. So and then Josh Dobbs coming off of a 4-pick game, he's gonna have to prove himself. But it's gonna be hard when you can't run the ball much. So we'll see how that plays out. But I think the Raiders win here at home. The Las Vegas Raiders win at home 27-21. All right, Broncos at the Chargers. So we go from the worst team, the 31st team in defending the run, the Broncos, allowing the second most rushing yards. And then we look at the Chargers on the flip side. On their rushing offense, they're 26th. So if it's a team that they should try to run the ball against, it's the Broncos. I don't think that's going to happen, though. This team gets away from what works for them, it seems like, a lot. The Broncos are going to definitely attack the secondary of the Chargers, as they rank 31st against the pass. Cortland Sutton, Jerry Jeudy is making the most out of his targets. I think this is a game where you just classically see, I think the more experienced quarterback here has the upper hand. Justin Herbert has an amazing arm, but Russell Wilson has a football brain, a more savvier brain, I should say. He's seen more scenarios. And even though he's getting up there in age, he still seems to deliver decent balls when he's outside the pocket. I think this is going to be a deciding factor, and this might be the game that gets Brandon Staley fired. I've been going with that all year, so just, I got to keep going with it. But I think this is where it happens here. So I think the Broncos win on the road, 27-24. Both teams should look to run the ball on each other. whereas the Broncos definitely look more to pass the ball. But if the Chargers can run the ball successfully, they'll probably prevail at home. But I don't see that happening. So the Broncos 27, Chargers 24. All right, Bills at the Chiefs, rematch of AFC Championship of 2020-21 season, and a divisional round matchup which ended in an overtime win for the Chiefs. The last two regular season games, the Bills have beat the Chiefs in Arrowhead. To add on to that, last two regular season games, they've beat the Chiefs in Arrowhead. I was thinking the Bills, they're coming off of a bye week. Obviously, they're 6-6. They need to win most of their last games to be able to get a good seeding or potentially a seeding at all. As the AFC has got a lot of winning teams barely above, and they're still fighting for those last three seeds, especially in the wild card round, to play the division winners, 5th, 6th, and 7th seeds. It's going to be tough for the Bills. The Chiefs coming off of a loss as well, on the road, not at home, where defensively they were showing weakness for the first time. Their defense had been their strong side. The Packers kind of exposed them in ways to where the Bills will definitely take advantage of that. I think the aerial attack for the Bills can be at a high level here. Unfortunately, it's just hard to see them beating the Chiefs in the regular season in Arrowhead 3 years or 3 times in a row. So I do think the Chiefs here make a turnover, make a stop, a late stop. If Pat Mahomes' receivers are struggling to catch the ball yet again, I think he's going to run for the first downs more. Pacheco had over 100 yards rushing last week, so we already have the running game behind him. Don't be surprised if Pat Mahomes is the second leading rusher during this game. And then I think Travis Kelce shows up. And then Rashee Rice looks like to be the most reliable receiver at the moment. He needs to keep earning Mahomes' trust because it's a big game here. He's going to need him against the Bills' defense, who is banged up and are missing a lot of players. But they're still a respectable defense by all means. However, though, this game is going to be, I think, another heartbreaker for Josh Allen, mainly because he lost to the Chiefs when it mattered in the playoffs and they got eliminated. Twice he has. So I think they are in the lead here late, and I think the Chiefs come back and put the ball in the end zone with very little time left for the Chiefs for the Bills to do anything. And I see that going 31 for the Chiefs and 30 for the Bills. It's gonna be a rough sledding up there in Buffalo, to say the least. Plenty of sled snow for them too. All right, now let's get it on here. Eagles at the Cowboys. It's AT&T Stadium. It's the second to last home game of the year. The Cowboys are playing at home. This time playing against the Eagles that we played in Week 9. Came up short literally with inches worth of like scoring a touchdown and another touchdown in the fourth quarter. Good matchups here though. The Eagles are 31st, I believe. The Eagles are 30th in passing defense. Cowboys offense, I believe, are number 1 in scoring. And offensively and passing, the Cowboys are top 5. So they're definitely going to attack this Eagles secondary. Eagles are a lot better defending the run. It's going to be hard. As the Cowboys have been doing, they use the pass to open up the run. And whatever you want to say about that, I kind of like how that sings. I kind of like it because it's actually being proved by the Cowboys film, and they're actually executing it at a high level. So you can't discount it. Mike McCarthy may not be coaching on the sideline. That's something to look out for. He had a emergency surgery today, actually, as that news broke. So we're gonna get to see. It might be the quarterbacks coach Scott Tolzien that calls the plays here, or Brian Schottenheimer, the assistant offensive coordinator. Maybe they extensively communicate with Dak Prescott on the sidelines before plays, during the plays, to kind of see what he likes as well. Maybe he'll be calling some of the plays home. So very going to be interesting to see there, guys. So hoping for the best. All prayers to McCarthy. Hope for a speedy recovery. And this game is going to come down to very important, keeping the penalties low. The least penalized team is going to have a lot better chance converting third downs and special teams, obviously. Mistake-free special teams and mistake-free on offense as well. Converting third downs, converting in the red zone as well. as the Cowboys are one of the worst red zone defenses, 23rd, versus the Eagles are actually worse there too. So that's going to be a great matchup, guys. I'm excited. I'm excited for this game right here. Cowboys 38, Eagles 28. Puts both teams at 10-3, and I can't wait for Sunday night. I cannot wait for Sunday night. Go Cowboys. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was Sunday Night Football. That's going to be the Sunday Night Football. And then there's 2 games on Monday Night Football. First one is the Packers at the Giants. Packers coming off of a big win. I think the Packers continue to go to the aerial attack as their defense keeps getting after the quarterbacks here. Great opportunity to get after a team in the Giants that have allowed the most sacks all season. So great opportunity for the Packers here. The Giants will be competitive. Saquon Barkley was a playmaker last time the Giants played. I expect him to make some plays here, but it won't be enough to hold off the Packers. 24 Packers, 17 Giants. And then the final game on Monday night is going to be Titans at the Dolphins. The Titans have the 22nd ranked pass defense, meaning that Tyreek Hill may or may not have 1 or 2 touchdowns. Either way, I think it's going to be hard for them to stop the Dolphins because they're also a top 5 in a rushing offense this year. They can run it down you. Devon A-Chain is healthy. He had 2 touchdowns coming back, on pace for touchdowns and for a rookie running back. On record pace. And then Raheem Mostert leading the league in rushing touchdowns with 14. And not to mention Tyreek Hill leading the league in receiving yards at 1481. And we still have 5 more games. It's ridiculous, guys. So it's going to be a lot. That's a lot on Tennessee's plate, which they were able to get pressure last week, but they gave up over 300 yards passing to Gardner Minshew and those 2 aforementioned Colts receivers. So, yeah, very tough matchup here. Will Levis still struggling, or not struggling, but it's going to be it's pretty much a rebuilding year. They're going to go into rebuild. The Titans are very disappointing production from their first round pick of last year, Traylon Burks, as DeAndre Hopkins is the only threat on their offense, and Okonkwo, the tight end, and Derrick Henry is actually dealing with is also in concussion protocol. If they can get him healthy for the Dolphins game, would help them a lot more. Definitely give them more of a chance. But if Derrick Henry doesn't suit up and play, there's very, very little chance that the Titans can be competitive and stick out to win this game. So I got the Dolphins winning at home, 37-20. That wraps up Week 14, ladies and gentlemen. I really enjoyed doing this. Enjoy the feedback. I enjoy giving you my side of what I think is going to happen, why I think it's going to happen. And one of these days, these score predictions are going to go through, and then we're going to keep doing this. We're going to keep doing this more and more. Score predictions, hopefully from the comments. I'd love to see it. Either way, make sure you stay warm. Look people in the eye when you have their attention. Attention to details when we're watching games, not attention to nonsense. And be critical. Be critical of things you see and hear. Obviously, you need to be the best judge. Be the best judge of your own intuition, and stay true to that. And everything else in the universe will fall into place. Praying everyone stays healthy for NFL Sunday, Thursday, and Monday. I love you guys. And you know what it is. Until next time I see you, this is the Dungeon of Doom. Peace and signing off.